Ladies and gentlemen, we all have at least one thing in common. We are all self-aware. Now, I'll prove it to you. Think this thought. I am thinking. See? Self-aware. Even as I'm giving this speech, there's a little voice in my head giving me critical feedback. In fact, how am I doing? Nailing it! See? Self-aware. Possibly delusional, but self-aware. And it's not like there's just one voice up there. I got all kinds of crazy rolling around. I even have that cartoon angel on my right shoulder, the devil on the left. This guy's always trying to get me in trouble. When I was in middle school, there was this kid, Morty Dawson. He bugged the heck out of me. He was both slow-witted and arrogant, which is a really bad combination. So one time he's picking on Dee Dee Anderson. I had a crush on Dee Dee Anderson. He was making fun of her because she had a striped blouse and a plaid skirt. I know. The angel says, "Morty's not nice." The devil says, "Teach him a lesson." So I walked over to Morty. I said, "Hey, can I borrow your Sharpie?" He handed it to me. I uncapped it. Ha-ha! And I started slashing him Zorro style. There, now you and Dee Dee match. I stood there like Don Quixote, having defended his Dulcinea. I turned to look at her adoring eyes and met my teacher's gaze. She caught me in the act. She whipped out her grade book. She made a big black mark next to my name. It went into my permanent record. She also used a Sharpie. That transgression haunts me to this very day, because it's probably the only time I ever did something you would call willfully bad. 99%, 95%, a good solid B+ of the time, I listen to the angel and I follow the rules. When I was in college, I worked at Disneyland in the parades. I used to love being Brer Bear, because Brer Bear was in the same unit as Brer Fox. And in Brer Fox, there was Kim. Kim had long chestnut hair, deep blue eyes, and Kim was a gymnast. She had moves. I could tell even inside the fox costume. Somehow, Big Dumb Bear worked up the courage to ask cute little Fox out on a date. We went to a pizza parlor where they let you write graffiti on the walls. Now, Kim saw a blank spot very near the ceiling, and she asked me to give her a boost. The devil said, "Her thighs will be pressed against your ears." The angel said, "I don't think it's safe." The devil said, "Thighs, ears!" I said, "Oh, tut tut, Kim, I do not believe that would be safe." The angel patted me on the head. So somebody else gave Kim a boost. She wrote on the wall, "Nobody died," and they started dating. Which of these voices, then, should I be listening to? The devil who loves anarchy, or the angel who likes to follow the rules? The truth is, neither one. Both of these guys are based in fear. Fear of being a wuss, or fear of getting caught. And they're both being manipulated like hand puppets by the lizard in my head. No, stay with me. Right there. See, at the back of the skull, there's this walnut-shaped thing called the amygdala. It's the oldest part of the brain, the part that does the fight or flight. If I leave the studio tonight and there's a tiger in the parking lot, it's the amygdala that's going to save my life. Fortunately, there are not a lot of tigers in Palo Alto. But that means my amygdala is completely out of its element. It has nothing to do. Where I want to spend my time is up here in what's called the prefrontal cortex. This is the logical part of the brain. It's the part of the brain that's smarter than I am. The prefrontal cortex does not like anarchy, but it appreciates passion. It doesn't like to follow the rules, but it likes doing good. And when you put passion and goodness together, we call that love. Where you put experience and virtue together, we call that wisdom, and that lives up here. Now, fortunately, it's very easy to get out of the lizard brain and into the prefrontal cortex. All you have to do is ask a question. Lizards don't do questions, and it doesn't matter what the question is. What time is it? How are you today? Why are the Kardashians on television? The second that you ask a question, the prefrontal cortex lights up. Now, for me, The question is always obvious. I portray Santa Claus at San Jose's Christmas in the Park. I know, surprise. Last year, I had a very large woman show up with two very tiny children. After the kids were done, she said, "My turn." The devil said, "She'll crush us." The angel said, "He's right." So I asked Santa, "What should I do?" And Santa said, "She needs to talk." So I waved her over, patted my knee. She had a seat. It was okay. She was kind of fluffy and perfumey. She told me all about the man she'd been seeing for 12 years and how she was afraid he was never going to ask her to marry him. Channeling Santa, I said, "You seem like a reasonable woman. The next time the time is right, I want you to tell him Santa says it's time to get married." 2 days before Christmas, we got an email. It had a picture of her showing off her shiny new engagement ring. Whew. So which voice should we listen to? I suggest that you ignore the devil who taunts you and the angel who scolds you, leave the lizard behind, and follow your loving, logical leader. It will always guide you to be your best and truest self. Unless you see a tiger, then do what Santa would do. Run!